Hello, Americans. Did you know that being a Democrat is very much the opposite of what you would think is supporting democracy and free speech and all these independent views that you have, that we all have when America was started? Take a look at this. Democracy in the United States is actually a representative democracy, which means our government elects dictators to make decisions for us every 4 years. Like, dictatorship is very different than democracy, but it's called democracy so the people don't revolt. And these representatives are supposed to represent our ideals because that's what they tell us when they're running, and we just hope that they do it. Um, but during that 4 year period, we don't make any decisions, so it's not a democracy at all. And we're not actually making decisions, we're just making decisions to pick someone to dictate and make decisions for us. But if you had to pick between Democrats and Republicans, which you do have to pick, or else your vote is just thrown away, pick the conservative side and the Republican side, not because I think they're better, but because I think they're less dictatorship, less control. And no one would disagree with me that the Republicans want a smaller government, less taxes, and less control over them. So if you don't want to be controlled,
Law prohibits
be
any
conservative.
speech that could incite hatred
Republican.
or is deemed insulting.
It's illegal to display Nazi symbolism, a swastika, or deny the Holocaust. That's clear. Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher
Yeah.
if you insult someone in the internet.
Why?
Because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you're in the internet, if I insult you or a politician,
That sticks around forever.
yeah.
The prosecutors explain German law also prohibits the spread of malicious gossip, violent threats, and fake quotes.
If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well because the reader can't distinguish whether you just invented this or just reposted it. That's the same for us.
The punishment for breaking hate speech laws can include jail time for repeat offenders. But in most cases, a judge levies a stiff fine and sometimes keeps their devices.
How do people react when you take their phones from them?
They are shocked. It's a kind of punishment if you lose your smartphone. It's even worse than the fine you have to pay.
Because your whole life is typically on your phone now.
They also put you in prison. But see, look, CBS is smiling. She likes it. This is the J.D. Vance dared tell them this is a tyranny. Sick elderly man arrested in his home over Facebook post. You must come with us. Bring the medicine. And the Stasi never went away when Eastern Germany and the wall went down in 1989. It just merged into it. Google even moved into the former Stasi headquarters. Third huge danger. Here's Elon Musk a few years ago explaining why he bought Twitter. The $44 billion or whatever it was, they said was double the value. Now it's way worth more than that. And he said it's the price of free speech. And he's fighting worldwide for populations to be able to have speech and battle corruption. What a public service. You bet I'm a cheerleader. You bet I'm thankful. What a game changer. God, thank you for Elon Musk waking up and fully getting on board Team Humanity. Thank you, Elon Musk. Here's a clip.
Acquiring Twitter, now called X, was highly unusual. I usually build companies from scratch. And the reason I acquired Twitter, which is what I said at the time, which is that it was important to preserve freedom of speech in America and to the extent we are legally allowed to in the rest of the world. That's a productive step for the future of humanity. And even though it's really quite painful and has been very difficult, it was, I think, nonetheless important to do so. I don't know if the same logic applies to TikTok, but so I'm not gonna. I don't acquire things just for economic reasons. And so it's not clear to me what the purpose of acquiring TikTok would be apart from economics.
And again, that's from like 4 or 5 months ago. He said the same thing 4 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago. But you see it in action. He didn't just say it, he did it. And he said it's all part of getting all the components together. Said it's all part of getting all the components together to have enough money to launch his interplanetary operation. That's his main goal. It's all transparent. It's all on record. You know exactly what he's doing. 2017, he says, I love Twitter. How much is it? March 2022, Musk accumulates 5% stake in Twitter. March 2022, a few days later, Musk tweeted, is a new platform needed? April of 2022, Musk buys 9.2%. Then in April 2022, a few days later, the next day, Twitter CEO announces Musk as member of the board. Then April 10th, a few days later, Musk denied joining Twitter board. Then, a few days later after that, Musk offered to buy Twitter for $43 billion. Then the next day, April 15th, Twitter adopted poison pill strategy. Then, April 18th, 2 days later, Musk tweeted, love me tender, signaling a potential tender offer. Then, 6 days after that, April 24th, Twitter board held discussions with Musk. Then on April 18th, Musk takes over Twitter for $44 billion. And now, where are we 2.5 years, 3 years later? In a totally different position globally, with the poison food and poison shots being exposed, being removed in live time, with the border controlled, with de-escalation of war, and with all these other tyrannical states on the back foot.